Okay, guys, this is going to be my review of the film Inside Man. I really enjoyed this film. I think it. I'm watching right now, right now, Dog Day Afternoon, and I feel like that film or Inside Man. I feel like took a lot of inspiration from this film, from like them, the cop and criminal interaction. But whatever, I think it's this film's really interesting, and I think Denzel Washington did give a great performance in this film as well. But yeah, I think I really enjoyed the criminal gang executing the crime, but yet having that big reveal at the end that they never really left and that they were still there, and you know and all the different levels of what is really going on and what it appears to be going on to what versus what is really going on, and kind of the interactions between the criminal and the cop, and the detectives, and trying to get the hostages out, but and stop the criminals. And then you see what the criminals are doing, but then you see what the bank owner's doing, and he hires a private, I guess, not necessarily a private investigator, but someone who he hires to kind of help the situation personally. And so this film operates on so many different factors that I enjoyed. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it. There was great dialogue throughout this film, and seeing what the cops are doing, and I love the scene where they let all the people go, let all the hostages go, but they're all in the same outfit. So that scene was really cool. I think that this film is weird because it's all one event type thing, and so like not a lot of it's like memorable because it like all clunks together with this film. There's big event moments like the robber talking to the kid, and letting all the hostages out, but they all look the same, and obviously the final reveal at the end, they never left, and they left, and slipped him the diamond and all that stuff. But again, like there was not like a big, like it wasn't like a collection of moments. It all blended together because it's kind of what's supposed to happen. It's one kind of event of that makes up the film. But it was very good. It was very interesting. How are they going to get him out? And they let out all hostages, but you think the mission's over. But but I think honestly towards the end it felt a little bit for me anticlimactic, a little bit, because they let all the hostages out, and then obviously that big reveal about he never they never left, and they left and then slipped him the diamond, and didn't take anything and whatever. But I felt like what this film seemed, it was very much subverting your expectations. That's fine, but I think I felt like almost what they were almost doing was subverting your expectations for something that may be not worse, but I don't think on the other level, because what you would think it would be building to is this big, um, I don't know, this big scene, I guess, where they would solve the investigation, but ultimately there was nothing to solve. You know what I mean? They didn't. You figure out their motivation was, not to really do anything. Was just to, ultimately mess with the cops, and so I think it felt a little bit anticlimactic in that end, where it's like you have an investigator and stuff, but there's nothing to investigate. Instead, it just feels like a film where they're giving them food, they're giving them this and that and that. But I did like how stuff said throughout the film did set up towards the end, where it's like I'll leave when I want to leave, and then he ends up leaving obviously when he want to leave, and But I think they gave a humane side to the robbers, because they're not just people who are gonna go around shooting people. It turns out they're not really true great robbers. I mean, they have the technology to turn off the camera, but everything else was fake guns and all that stuff, and their only leverage and their only power was just that they had hostages. And turns out they truly didn't have any power. They're all fake, and the worst thing they even did. And so I think that was interesting. This idea of like the worst thing they ever did was beat up some guy, and they ultimately left and they got away with it. And I enjoyed it, but I think I don't know. It was just interesting because it felt like they were building up and building up and building up all this tension, but yet at the core of it wasn't didn't seem to be going anywhere. You know what I mean? Where it's like you build up all this tension, and then the release of the hostage scene was great and all, but after that, okay, and I also like that they kind of went out of order and did show the interviews, and that was kind of cool seeing the different personalities of the hostages and obviously, like I said, the humane side of the criminals, but it felt, again, like I said, a tad bit anticlimactic because it was like they ended with all these big cliffhangers and all this big surprises and reveals, but they didn't really go anywhere with it. There was like at the end, you know what I mean? It would have been nice if they had like, okay, he figures out that guy was the robber, but they never ultimately like. It would have been interesting if they chased after him or did something. You know what I mean? Instead of the robbers get away with it. They never truly. It was all um, it was all that idea. It was a twist on what a robbery would be like. Where it's like a robbery. But what if there was a robbery, but yet they didn't steal anything? And it just felt like there was no, I guess, payoff. The payoff was that cool twist. It was a cool twist that, hey, they never left and stuff. But after that, you would think they're going to go more with that. But they didn't. It was like, okay, you see a little clip of them leaving, and then, the detective gets to be with his wife, and that's it. That's the film. And it's like, I enjoyed it, but there was not that element of total payoff, because when you have a film that's all about one event, if you don't conclude that event in a satisfying way, it does hinder your enjoyment of the film. But I really enjoyed it. I did. Say this for reviews coming at you. And by the way, the performances were great. It was kind of cool exploring New York and having civilians and interesting aspects of a bank robbery that you don't normally see. So I enjoyed it. Again, I'm only saying critiques, but I'm not only saying critiques. I really enjoyed the cops and criminals. I just talking about a criticism I have, because sometimes when you have a criticism, it's hard to fully explain that. Like when I say something positive, you just say something positive. I like the performances. I like the bank heist. I like exploring the cops. I like exploring the criminals. But I think it's not that satisfying. The ending is not that satisfying. Well, I feel the need to explain myself, and obviously explaining is more time than just plainly saying what you enjoy. So, anyway, stay tuned for more videos coming at you.